I would think 18 months, but I'm not sure about that. It seemed to be forever. Because once the report must have taken us about 3 or 4 months to write, and then we had a period when we went all around Victoria giving an in-service program to everyone who was running a work experience program, and that was a fairly massive exercise. They were held in sort of not what later became regional centres, but big centres like Mildura and Swan Hill, and so yes. So then I think there was a period when the running of work experience, unfortunately, rather dominated the time of a lot of career teachers, and probably somewhat to the detriment of other aspects of curriculum that they should have been able to attend better to. There was a restructuring, and I applied for a job as whatever it was. It had a title, but I can't remember what it was. But what it basically meant was you're it. And the person who'd been my assistant on the work experience program, she applied for the job as my assistant. It was very amusing because we were by then quite close friends, and I had suggested to my manager, I said, I don't know that I'm the person that should interview here. And he said, oh yes, you're going to have to work with her. So we tried very hard during that. It was a very amusing interview. Tried very hard to distance ourselves and not let on that we were so closely connected. And we gave each other away by sharing a tea bag. Because they the other interviewer sort of looked at me and said, how did she know you only... Anyway, that association worked very well indeed, and the training of the careers teachers then underwent a complete change of the way the program was run, and we used... I was quite amused several years ago to read your initial career teachers training program in detail and realised that the model wasn't that different from the model that we developed. I felt quite chuffed about that. So that went on until I left, and that was another restructuring. It was sort of 3 restructurings later, and I had decided to leave the education department altogether. I decided I should have nothing more to do with careers because I didn't know how else I was going to effect a proper break. So it was just a personal decision that I'd have nothing to do, except that I had personal friends like Ruth and Graham Campbell and others. But now I would like to just say a little bit more about Donald Murdoch. Donald was one of the original 11 careers teachers. Donald was a vice president of the Secondary Teachers Association, the union. He eventually left the careers field and became vice principal of Flemington Secondary College. He was a close friend of lots of us, and Donald died. We moved into this house in, I think, 1986, and Donald died very shortly afterwards. I think that a lot of the early years of the CEAV, when I reflect upon it, were very much under his influence. He was the person who insisted that we have a newsletter that went to all schools, and he edited it and twisted the arms of people to write for it. My arm used to get quite sore, I thought, from Donald twisting me and flattering me and saying, people like reading what you write, which was probably rubbish, but it meant he kept on having somebody writing all the time. And he was a great loss to secondary teaching, I think.